Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Boy Waldron and welcome to this inbox review. We're going to be looking at an Eduard Provi Pack edition kit here. It's going to be the Albatros DV 148 scale. Kind of a little bit different, a little bit interesting, being World War One. Now this kit, right, is from 1995, so very old tooled kit. Nice box art, by the way, as you can see. What kind of makes this one interesting is how interesting the markings are for this kit, as you can just see there. So let's take a look at this old tooled kit. Now it does come in at almost £30, so is actually rather expensive for what it is, but we'll get into it a little bit more. So yes, we have our sort of atypical World War One type aircraft, but let's have a look at some of the closer detail. Now, even though this is old, just quickly looking at our surface detail just here, I mean, yes, I'm feeling some pretty nice crisp recess panel lines that even as you come over to those 90-degree angles, I'm still seeing and feeling some pretty nice crisp recess panel lines. We do have a bit of an engine to go on display just here. We do have a pilot in here also, which looks like we've got a pretty nasty sink mark in there straight away. The pilot face, I mean, his nose almost looks like it's kind of gone flat or something. Maybe not the best miniature I have seen out there, but I mean, you know, a bit of filler on that sinkhole just there. I mean, the face, you could put, do you know what, I mean, you could probably get, I mean, if you look really close, I mean, okay, I can just see the mouth, the lips, and actually maybe the nose ain't too bad. I mean, it's quite close to the goggles, and maybe I didn't quite see that quite clearly straight away, but you know, actually that isn't too bad. So yeah, maybe that sinkhole filled in there. I mean, it looks like he's got a big ass going on there. I mean, look at that for an ass. But maybe that's just so it sits into the aircraft quite nicely. But yeah, let's have a look at our wings. I mean, we can see that hole and feel the rib work, which is, you know, all that kind of cloth that they have on there. Actually quite a nice bit of detail there, some sort of vents or something. I mean, that is quite well detailed actually. Let's have a quick look on the inside. Yes, we've got some sort of kind of rib work going on just on the inside there, quite clean. Maybe an ejector pin mark, but you know what, they're probably not going to be in nasty places. On the underside of the wing, thankfully there is no ejector pin marks going on along there. Looking quite good actually. So second and final piece of plastic, so not a lot of plastic to this, probably go together kind of easy. Hopefully the fit is rather nice. We've got all sorts of little bits going on here. We do have some MGs which do look quite nicely detailed, but I do believe we have some cool photo etch to make them look even better. We have our wheels just here. They are, you know, looking rather nicely crisp with a fair amount of detail. Not seeing any nasty ejector pin marks there. Right, all looking sort of pretty nice, pretty crisp, not too bad on the ejector pin marks. I mean, for something that is from 1995, that don't look too bad at all. However, the price, as I say, I mean, £30 for something so old, not exactly much plastic going on there, but I think this is where the price kind of comes into play, right? So let's just get out the cool stuff that is in here that comes with it, because it is a Provi Pack edition. All right, so first off, I mean, we do have all these masks that come with it. I do believe this is like wheel masks and stuff, but then we have some more masks as well, a very big sheet of masks. This is for kind of doing those kind of checkered paint schemes that you get with this, so quite a lot of canopy mask to help you out with that. Then we also get, as always with Eduard, a lovely bit of photo etch, right? So yeah, hopefully you can see all the lovely little bits that we have in here. We do have some seat belts, vents. No, those aren't vents. Those are like your MG covers. You kind of wrap them around the MG and just make them look even cooler. We do have some bits that are sort of pre-painted and some bits that aren't. You know, all sorts of bits going on there. Not sure where they all go, but a lot of extra photo etch to kind of spice up what is, I mean, I know it's an old sprue, but it is actually looking rather good. Then we have a lot, and I mean a lot, of decals or decals just here. We have our first sheet going on just here. The colours do look good. Maybe we could just peel this back a little bit so you can see, you know, all looking good just on there. They are by Eduard, which generally kind of like are pretty good from Eduard. Sometimes that can be a bit inconsistent, but then this as well, we have this massive decal sheet, right, which is the funky camo patterns that are going on with these aircraft, which should actually give you a very you know, standout kind of aircraft with all this camo that's going on with this. It's going to be some very big sheets of decals or decals there, which is rather interesting. Then we have another even bigger decal sheet here, but this is like lots and lots of strips and stuff to put all over it as well. So let's have a look at the instructions and how this goes together and what we are to expect. Let's bring you in a little bit closer. Yes, nice bit of description about the aircraft itself, the Albatros DV. Moving along, yes, as always, you know, we start off with a cockpit section. Looking at it, I mean, it's going to show you your colour callouts, which we have Aquarius, Mr. Colour, paints, guns, and all that kind of cool stuff. And you know, you should be able to get everything the colour it needs to be. Shows you where the photo etch goes. You know, we even got it kind of coloured a little bit here and there to show you what piece goes on to the next one. Just kind of make things a little bit easier to follow. Moving along, yes, we have seatbelt locations and where all that goes. Shows us where we need to cut bits off when we're needing to cut bits off to then replace it with, say, photo etch. So the MGs should look rather cool. We're going to have a bit of that engine section on display, which maybe a little bit of scratch building there, because I mean, it did look like a good engine on the plastic there, but it's going to be on display, so maybe you know kind of some nice sort of buffable natural metal finish paints on there, maybe a little bit of scratch building, a bit of research, make it look quite funky. Moving along, right, we're coming along with the whole sort of bring the two fuselage halves together and the two wing sections. It then shows us where our masks go, i.e. what looks like to be, is it the wheels? Yes, the wheels, and a couple of other little areas here and there, right? So it does seem like it's covering a lot of masking here for you to kind of make the whole spraying and that process that little bit easier. It does have quite a bit of sort of photo etch on the surface areas and stuff, which should kind of make it kind of look quite cool. You do have that whole sort of using things like easy line. Yes, World War One, it does put a few people off, right? I do highly recommend you know, stuff like this from I can't pronounce these things, but it's the Ushi. I do tend to get these in store actually, so do look out for them. Can't pronounce them quite right, but yeah, it's basically kind of like an easy line type thing. You can have different sort of thicknesses and stuff, and it really is perfect for this kind of stuff. But yeah, moving along, yes, it'll show you all that nasty stuff that takes you forever to do. But yes, this is probably, you know, why it's probably about £30, is that we have all this lovely decals and markings and all that cool stuff that goes with it, all the canopy masks and all that decals will be able to give you, I mean, we're not just talking like one funky design here, we're talking several very funky, very out there camos and designs and stuff that really make this a nice centerpiece. The kind of thing that makes you go off and want to kind of maybe, I mean, if you like this kind of stuff, you know, you could go off and buy 5 of these kits, and you know, each one of these markings are just absolutely out there, very different, very, very cool, very interesting. Yeah, I do love it on that sense. So final conclusion, yeah, 1995 tool may sound bad, but actually that plastic still looks good today. I've got no qualms of kind of going off and going, this is bad because it's 1995 new tool. No, it looks good with all these markings and the photo etch and this and all this cool stuff. It really does kind of, you know, bring this to you know what, I think it's just really going to be a very interesting aircraft with all that very interesting decals and decals and markings that come with it. So yeah, big thumbs up. Even though it is £30, I think it's worth it with all that extra markings and decals and all that cool stuff. So yes, as always, until next time, my name's Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed.